Hi, Deena Von Yokes here. So glad you joined us. I am happy to share with you an in-depth step of the Von Savvy SHOB. Bold haircuts and colors can be a bit of a hit or miss, but we know that the Queen's Gamut haircut is going to be a checkmate. In this video, you are getting the download of how to achieve the red, spicy, sharp bob, which we like to call SHOB. As a hair artist, this is a great hair design to put in your bucket for your clients. I'd love to point out that there is a difference between technical and practical. And technical is where you're learning something step by step. Practical is actually going into action. It's great to watch something, but when you actually do it, that's when you become where it becomes one with you and you own it. Grab your doll head so we can be learning and doing, and then at the end of that, you're going to be retaining, and you'll be able to put this into practice behind the chair when it comes to applying it for your clientele. For us creatives out here, this is generally our favorite part. You have to go in and be really precise with the precision haircut, but then how you want to put the doors and windows on that foundation afterwards, to me, is my favorite part. But there is still a method to my madness. I take one section at a time. I start from the bottom, and I'm moving my top hand while I'm taking the scissors and following my hand work up the head shape. I do not get really close to the head, and I don't get really close to the ends. It's mid shaft in this particular texturizing technique, and this is going into more freestyling, but it's not as free as one thinks. You can see that I'm taking one section at a time, going all the way around the back right section, the back left section. And when you do this particular technique, this takes out weight and builds volume. Not only that, you're going to see a seamless layer. There's times where people may want a chunky layer, or they might want a seamless layer. And when I talk about horizontal sectioning and vertical sectioning, you see each one of them, I'm doing like a 1-inch vertical section at a time between my fingers. I bring it straight out off the head at a 90, start from the bottom section, have my scissors slightly opened. They're not wide open, it's just the tips are open, and a flick of the wrist all the way up. You can do this several times until you like the amount of weight that's taken out, and we want to soften it more and more, and this takes out weight to build volume, and it softens the whole edge on that really blunt hard line we created. But you want to have that blunt hard line. Think of building a house. You have your foundation, then you have your walls, and then you have your doors and your windows. So these are going more into the design of a house. It's the design of the haircut. This is what makes it a little more unique and different. This is the area where you're going to get a feel for their calyx on their head shape, the part that bounces out. When it's bouncing out too much, that's usually in the area where they have strong calyx. Sometimes I go ahead and soften the bottom and I leave all the weight on the top. And sometimes I leave the weight on the bottom and soften the top. Or sometimes I may soften the entire haircut. But this is where you as a designer get to think it out. Does the client have frizzy hair? If they have frizzy hair, you're going to want to leave a little weight on the top. Does the client have really thick hair? I don't really want my bob to look like a triangle. If I don't want it like a triangle and I want it more sleek, I take the weight out on the bottom. If the client needs more volume to balance out their facial features on the top of their head, I'll take more weight off the top. So these are just things that you want to have a thought process of why you're doing it and what's going to happen as an end result. Now we're going into the blow dry, and I love to teach the adults that are coming straight out of beauty school on what it is to do a wrap blow dry, which is taking on the shape of the head. I wrap it around from left to right and front to back, and then I go in with a round brush. And there's a way you can use a round brush and still straighten hair. You just go off the top and it flattens it and makes it really straight and sleek. And then it's a good time to educate your clients on what products you're using and why it's important to blow dry your hair going down the cuticle if you want it to be shiny. Cuticles are like fish scales. If you blow up them, they expand out. If you blow down them, they close. When something's closed, it's going to reflect more light. And I'm having a little fun today. These are just tools, and there's something to create a little bit of texture and have fun. It's a great time to educate your client on what it is to taking care of their condition of their hair. What are they doing with their hard tools, which is your irons and your blow dryers, and your soft tools, which is your hair care product and your hairspray and gels, because their daily habits are really important as far as when it comes to the condition of their hair. Some clients would like to blame it on their color, but most of the time it's the habit that they're doing every single day with their hair. There are things that make you stand out as a professional when it comes to educating your clients on everything that you're using. They could go into any store and purchase things, but majority of the time they don't even know what to buy and what they do. So this is what brings our value to the table, and educating them on how they're taking care of their hair at home, and they have something that's preferred for their hair type, so they get the best results. Now that we've finished this hair design and we showed you a little bit of blow dry techniques and some tools to play with, I want you guys to all go back into your salon and behind the chair and play and have a little bit of fun. Congratulations, you have finished your final step to the Von Savvy SHOB. Remember, practice makes progress, so we want to keep practicing. And I like to say it again, repetition is the mother of skill, and especially when you're learning a new discipline, which is what we're doing here today, cutting a beautiful clean line. Now I want you to pat yourself on the back because you took the first steps to fulfilling your professional dream. Hope you enjoyed this module. I'll see you in the next one.